Welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 in part 4 of our Jade Dragon Immortal Empires campaign. Huge thank you once again to Creative Assembly for providing me here with some early access to the Shadows of Change DLC, that way I can show everything off for you in a little bit in advance. So we are going to dive straight on in with the Battle of Hexawaddle, but before we do, we have some administration to get to. Eager for battle. So what the plan is currently Yuan Bo is sitting and holding the line against the Wellsprings of Eternity Druki, who actually have disappeared on a way as we wanted them to. We still probably won't immediately launch an assault just because they are likely nearby. If we do so launch an assault, we will immediately probably hand it on off to the Hunt Marshal's expedition here just to give us a little bit of a buffer from them. The Druki will then have to make the choice of either trespassing through their lands or crossing the ocean to come on over to attack us. We also have built on up these stone tokens we need, and just basically whichever of, if the Isle of the Crimson Skull is finished first building, or over here in the Celestial Riverlands. Shangwu is at 4, so likely Shangwu is not going to finish first. We also, if we take a look into our diplomacy, have the option to go ahead and confederate up with the Celestial Loyalists.
Natural authority.
Attention!
41 chance for success. They've got 3 settlements. It looks like they are on the back foot from Lokir. Lokir has not declared war on us yet, so this would allow us to take over Qianhuo's group. I think we do retain his army and Ming Yuqi as well. We would definitely do some disbanding and reforming of their armies because we would definitely take a pretty big hit to our income, but we are definitely going to be confederating up right away, stressing the administration to its absolute limit. Let's see about grabbing a
Windshaper. The dragon-blooded.
We'll grab the military access
May your ancestors
and the non-aggression with Yuan Shanfu here. And I am going to siphon some more gold from her. She looks to be losing the Bastion quite rapidly. But she does have a full stack built up, so at this point, we need the gold more than you do.
Agreed.
Agreed, may you live long. You as well. Hopefully you don't get slain horribly by chaos. We also need Miao Ying to get up there and start rebuilding the Bastion. That is her sworn duty.
General!
Alright then, we're also going to go ahead and grab the defensive pact with the Eastern Riverlords here. Because the plan here with them is also going to be to try to save them from Nakai before we are able to attack back. Nakai is rampaging his way through the coast. He has really not had much of an issue smashing apart the Eastern Riverlords. So we need to deal with him pretty quickly and start taking out his vassal faction that he puts back in his place. So we're going to take this defensive alliance. I am actually not going to siphon any gold from them, just mostly because it's 138. And they are currently recruiting. The Ancestors Smile. And now we come on in and grab the Confederation with the Celestial Loyalists. In their words, the Celestial Loyalists.
I greet you in their name.
Good.
A compact, then.
A compact, then. Great Orthodoxy would like a non-aggression pact. I think it's probably better for us to partner with the Tsarina. If you start making deals with the Great Orthodoxy, she dislikes you more. Just because they are rivals.
We greet you.
We greet you.
An accord between our great empires.
We actually can't settle any of the frozen climates, so any of that we will be happily handing back to, if we get over to this area, we'll be happily heading off to Kislev. Same thing with Mother Ostankia in the north, right above us. She should be fighting her way against all of the Druki there.
Yes?
And so we should be able to help out after we deal with Hexawaddle and build up the Astromantic Relay here. We'll basically bring the Shugun Gun up north and have her kind of hold the line and build up a force. Should be a good bit of fun. The New World colonies are going to get exterminated. We deserve all of this land by ourselves, because they only have 3 territories. I've got a bit of machinations we're going to play with this as well, so we're going to see this in action here in just a moment. First, we're going to take the...
I'm ready to parley. I hope your words are wise.
Oh, I don't want to trade with you. We're going to lure you into a war you don't want. How about you fight Hexawaddle, I give you a wee bit of gold. 597, that works for me.
Yes.
Enjoy fighting the lizards. I am going to go ahead and also cancel this pact here. Yes, unfortunately, Philip, your time is short.
As you say, sir.
The drums of war will beat. So you see, that's not what that necessarily means, but if you think so.
Repel chaos.
We'll also go ahead and start trading with the Great Orthodoxy.
Kindred's truth is also yours.
He's getting taken down a little bit here, so I'm not going to actually take any gold from Gestalten. I would prefer that Kislev survives here against the Forces of Chaos. He's got This is a Sarl, as well as the Static Legions. Azazel up there causing some problems.
There will be no retribution.
Hopefully not. It's trading.
The Empire.
Trading doesn't usually get aggressive.
So,
We'll also go ahead and strike up a deal with Talabheim.
Only Sigmar's god Ulrich can judge it worthy or no.
Sigmar's will.
Sigmar's will. They might not be around for long, but we'll take the trade with them
What?
while they are.
Who calls?
Sterling would also like an agreement in pretty much every single one of these we sign.
Approach us, friend.
Non-aggression
Make
should
your
allow us
offer.
to actually trade. Beautiful. And Sterling has no more gold.
All right.
All right. And this is actually should be where the changeling is, over here in Sterling.
Ready to defend.
Only the dedicated.
Okay, with all the gold we have, we should probably go for
You may
more
express
packs.
reverence now.
I may express
For the
reverence now.
dragon.
Let's go ahead and check our fundage
Charming.
before we continue to spend gold. Hey, look at that. The Imperial Road has been secured. We've got a confederation with the Jade Court and the Loyalists, as one would expect. And now we have to deal with and Narcissus. You can go ahead and leave, ma'am. You have been requested to remove yourself.
General.
Was Ming Yuchi a Shugengun before? I could have sworn he was a Shugengun before.
Dragon's humility.
Alright, Qian, you're at rank 4. What's your trait? Bureaucrat. That's actually pretty solid. And it makes sense since he's leading the Celestial Loyalists in Yuan Bo's place. Yuan Bo technically has control over 2 factions in lore. He is the leader of the provinces. What is this called? The Imperial Road provinces? I'm not sure what they're called proper. We're just going to call it the Imperial Road, though. He has the Imperial Road and the Central provinces both belong to him. He's in charge of both of those. Also signed a, finally, military access pact with, not Zhongli, man, I'm gonna, jumping back over into 4.0
working with
has
me.
ruined me.
And
Xiao Ming.
Shanyan.
You're a real one if you know what that name comes from.
Gotrek.
Or maybe you're like me and you were not a real one. Let's go ahead and roll on in. I think the rats, even if they go after Gotrek, are gonna have a really hard time dealing with that nonsense. Ming Fan,
Attention.
come on over to smash the Jade Wind Mountain.
Ancestors, guide us.
Taking a bit of casualties, but I think... Oh wow, the rats are building up very quickly, aren't they? Pyrrhic victory, huh? We probably can't give them any time at all, so what we're going to do is surround them here. Luckily, this is not nearly as dangerous a force. There's no mages. So we'll encircle. We'll come back to this battle afterwards. I'm a big fan of the amount of armies the rats are fielding. It's at least giving us a bit of struggle.
Humility in all
Little
things.
Fang Bo. We'll bring you out
We will.
on the beautiful looking dragon boats. And we will prepare to invade Shimai. Not this turn, of course. We want to make sure we're doing that in the proper moment. We are still very negative in our income, so...
Celestial General.
Ming Yuchi, you are a martial artist. You are now fired.
Celestial
Yan Huo, you have a lot of Jade Warriors, and that's probably a good thing, but man, we're paying a lot of gold for it.
Cold by night. Deadly.
Come back into WEI-JIN. We're going to go ahead and take out the Shrine of Yin there. Merchant caravans are giving us a bit of yang. I think we would prefer to have balance. We are incredibly yang here. So let's go for gem factors here. We're going to keep in because they make actually more money overall. Or do they? Still do want to try to keep it in balance. So we're going to go ahead and delete this building as well. I'm going to go ahead and demolish the Nangao Forge. And that should square things away. This army here is actually not bad.
Loyal novices are better
We can
than
get in some
uncertain
Jade crossbows. We don't have the gold for this yet. That'll be fantastic. Glad they've got the ability to grab in the Jade crossbows already.
veterans. Instrument of the divine.
Thinking we are going to have some problems in the Imperial Road. We're going to go ahead and throw in... I think instead of the Jade Dragon's Edict, we are actually going to use Miao Ying's. We're going to go for the Storm Dragon for extra corruption drop and melee defense for everyone in the province. This will also slow down the Druki as well. We are doing this reluctantly. Alright, man, you're doing nothing. Let's dive into the battle. We've dirtled long enough. Exowaddle must fall. Alright then. Lizardmen cities are always very, very well defended. Pretty nasty tower walls too, I'm excited. We'll start deployment. And I think we attack from this angle. We're also going to get shot at by both fort towers. We're going to bring the Jade warriors in onto their awesome looking siege towers. Now, you probably shouldn't be in this tower. You guys instead take over. Perfect. Have them rolling up the road. As long as they're not in the trees, they'll be fine. They shouldn't be obstructed. The second they're in those trees, they're going to slow down by a huge margin. Okay, let's have the rest of the Jade warriors set up kind of behind them, trying to hide. Doing their best to.
Jade warriors.
And spread them out as we get a bit closer. We can have the spearmen in behind them.
Praise the dragons.
I also have them in a
Stone and steel.
line, just because there's no reason to take extra damage. And not very many of your troops can actually get through the gates at once, so if you try to give that order, we've discovered several times, you try to have everyone charge through the gates at once, and they'll start swarming up and over the walls and doing all sorts of crazy stuff that you don't want, so... We're just gonna have them in a line, though we can use them a bit more targeted, tactically. Alright, peasants. Make sure you archers are far enough back we're not getting shot at by the towers. You guys are second most important here.
Lines at one.
Pull them apart a bit. That's all my archers. Or there's a few over here. No, it's all my archers. And then we'll grab the Grace of WEI-JIN, put them in behind. Beautiful. Bring everyone else on over. The Jade Lion, renamed to Fuzzy Demon, is probably going to need to be staying far away from the battle just for this one. Just for this one. We'll charge them on into the lines once the towers have been taken over. That way we can blast those Jade breaths in, but till then, we'll definitely want to stay back. That way they're not taking extra damage. You need to be in a group with Yuan Bo. We're gonna get the dad issues and start giving the dragon siblings the different names. Don't worry, buddy. Next, we're gonna call you Miao Yang. Let's dive on into the fight. You straight to the walls. You as well. We'll actually not have you go straight to the gates, but there are javelins, so don't get too close. Everyone else, you stay back. We may have the crows come on forward. They're pretty devastating. We have them wreck these javelins over here. Magical bolts going on away. He's taking some damage. That'll be alright. We're gonna start rolling the ball of doom around here in a second. Go for it. Here comes the blade, not the blade wind, but the blossom wind. Oh yeah, that's a blend 'em up ball is what that is. And it keeps going. That's fantastic. Drop off again as Golden Hounds in the Skink Horde as well. As they should accept that damage the least. You all keep moving to the side. We're gonna start bringing the infantry on forward now. Bring yourselves into the fray. Naturally. Yuan Bo start hitting the walls. You stop getting shot at. That's the worst. Just increase Yuan Bo's attacks there real quick. Drop down the overcasted metal spells. Heroes, all the Saurus swarm around, and then you guys. Tough call, because they know we would like to charge in. Let's go over the top and hit these cold ones. Oh, I lied. These Saurus Warriors with shields are an excellent target. Maybe we do it back a little bit. Warriors have the walls. Start sitting the other Jade Warriors up.
Warriors,
You boys take the siege towers.
Sorcerer of secrets.
We would like to get the Blade Blossom Wind activated again. Caught it last chance there.
Seeking Cathay's
Yep, here we go. There's the target up top. Skink go with javelins. They are way isolated. Our poor alchemist here.
Path of Meta. The Iron Path.
Leave her alone.
An acceptable choice.
All right, Grace of WEI-JIN. Let's start helping out with these Saurus warriors here. Oh, is Yuan Bo inside the... Is he inside the gate? Well, that's not good. You gotta help out. He cast the Blossom Wind yet? He can indeed. Let's start blitting up some Saurus. I did notice we've got a Ghost Skink here. We can make sure he leaves a little bit faster. We'll wait for just a moment. And actually, let's go after these Cold One Spear Riders. You over the top of them. Cold One Spear Riders do actually have an anti-large, but we will surround them and should annihilate pretty quickly. Plus, the Lancers of WEI-JIN have quite a bit better stats. Too bad we can't drop that on the Stegodon. Just get rid of that Skink Priest a bit faster there. This has been annihilated. Rather than anyone else, but still it is quite sad. Alright, Yuan Bo. Another Blossom Wind. Blend them up. Get as many of them blinded as we can.
With infinite pride.
Actually have you kind of come up this side. We'll have the Peasant Spearmen deploy the ladders. We're just going to take damage from the walls. There's nothing else we can do about it.
The Dragon Emperor is most loyal.
We dive into the Temple Guard. Give some of these Jade Warriors on top extra shielding. Actually, you have to turn and go after the Stegodon. I mean, to give that to the Temple Guard. I was trying to give it to the Ghost Skink. Ghost Skink. Oh yeah, Crowman and Cavalry annihilated their competition here. Come on back and finish off the rest. Pros deal with this group. Lancers go after the other. Bring the Fuzzy Demon in to drop in some breath spells. He's in melee with the wall, interestingly enough.
Master of meteor winds. The winds are mine to command.
Alright, give Yuan Bo also the Metallurgy there. I mean, I can understand why we'd be losing Jade Warriors. Look how large these Saurus are. You're facing the wrong way.
For the Emperor!
You can't trust peasants. I understand why the Bretonnians are like that. Here comes the clumps of lads. Run. I realized what they were doing. They're trying to get rid of the Alchemist. Alright, Jade Dragon Breath. Straight on through that line. Blah. All over him. We've got the walls claimed. Let's start sitting the Spearmen down to start bogging down these Temple Guard. Lances of WEI-JIN. Not what they are, but we're going to call them that. They're just the great longer riders. I don't see any more trying to make it on in towards us. Let's go ahead and deal with these Spear Riders. Nope. Been terrified. Exowaddle falls. It just took 500 of our peasants to do so. Alright, a decisive win, and actually we didn't take as many casualties as it initially seemed. The peasant archers did get blasted a bit by the magical ballistae there, but honestly they came out of that pretty well. Leaving Yuan Bo in human form actually seems to be the way with him. He can do a ton of area of effect damage with a few of his attacks in dragon form. We'll have to show that off. We have a quest that would like us to sack Hexawaddle as well. The only problem is I would like to get the Astromantic Relay in as quickly as possible. We are going to go ahead and do it though. We do need the gold. See how much that jumped that up to.
Take it all.
Tax collector for Yuan Bo as well. Audacious, he is indeed. The great plan undone with one turn to spare. 2,400 for the base and then an extra 1,200 for doing it in the amount of time. The beggarly nest of lizards has been brought ruin to, and we are also going to go ahead and declare war on the Shark Teeth Ogre Kingdoms as well, for the extra battles. We can do so right before we claim Hexawattle. That way we're not worrying about the raiding.
Dragon-blooded Shogunga.
Can you scoot forward a little bit? I also would like to check. Interesting how parts of the jungle are extra ambushy and other parts aren't.
It is my calling.
There's no Druki nearby. Okay, well in that case,
Power
I guess
is
we'll
my
stay in ambush. Wanted to try to throw in some units from the Empire because they're fairly cheap and can actually blast out some crossbow bolts pretty quickly.
Eye of the Emperor.
Empire crossbow bolts are pretty devastating against Druki. Bureaucrat of the highest order. This is definitely what we're going to be grabbing after we get the Comet of Casadora. Onward.
Keeper
Unma.
of Wusheng.
I think we want to max out the Plague of Rust. We haven't used it that much, but when we are fighting against lords, it's going to be an absolute kneecapper.
Valor was worthless.
Valor was worthless. They're lizards. What valor? Who you guys at war with?
Don't even try.
No one but me.
The Jade.
Enjoy
Dragon.
the void, Argog.
Not a chance.
Smash it, then we'll eat you. You've beat your last whale, sir.
The Dragon's Fang.
Auto Resolve would give us a decisive win with the low casualties. It is ogres. Let's see.
For the Celestial.
I don't trust that. That's actually not too bad. We only lost 316. It did try to take out our Jade line. We will venerate to the ancestors there.
Heavier the chain.
And then we are going to go ahead and claim Hexawattle. We're going to hang out for a moment, let Yuan Bo do some regenerating. Oh, we've got the Jade War Drum, though. Do you hear that? It's the sound of our death approaching.
Rouse to duty.
Quite knowledgeable to know that that is indeed what's on the way. Oh, look, we had a quest battle over here at the Fallen Gates. The Isthmus of Lustria has been secured, though.
Eye of the Emperor.
And we are going to go ahead and also slot on in the Jade Dragon's Edict. I'm going to tear out the market wares here. The wares market. And then we are going to try to get Hexawattle into Yin alignment. That way we can get as much growth and construction time reduction as we can. So that way we can actually get the Astromantic Relay, because it's going to take up to Tier 3, and sacking it dropped it all the way down to Tier 1, which I was a bit concerned with. No surprise, we actually get the Stellar Pyramids of the Southern Skies. I figured this was a Lizardman-only one. On the southern horizon of Hexawattle, on the eve of the equinoxes, the Stellar Pyramids will rise upon the jungle canopy. Guess 12% more research rate. Alright then. Sounds good to me. On top of the Astromantic Relay we have to build. Our next war is likely going to end up being against the Port Reaver for Yuan Bo. I'm going to let the Lizardmen recover a bit and then come on over and start doing some damage.
Master of the meat.
It's going to be quite dastardly, if I don't say so myself. I'm going to go ahead and disband a few of these peasants. Start combining them up. Unfortunately, these guys are the most healthy and they're the least elite. That means we're going to be doing it no combining. We're just going to kick them out. Service is over. Don't know how you knew. I like having kind of 6 missile units. We can have more if you have specialized ones, but I usually like having about 6. Jade War Drum would put us only over by 1 coin. It's going into Yuan Bo's army. I just have to wait until we can afford it. Mastery of the Elemental Winds. We'll have 3 of them then. Oh, I can't wait.
The Celestial
Yuan Bo, let's give you the Bureaucrat of the highest order. Right. Construction cost, construction time. Or Comet. Since we're hanging out, we're going to go for Bureaucrat. We'll grab Comet very soon. We'll definitely want it before we get any of the quest battles started. You can use it in dragon form, which getting a big blob of enemies up and then dropping a meteor on them sounds like a fantastic idea.
Celestial ancestors.
Alright, just like that, we turned around our income issues. Doesn't mean things are completely hunky-dory, though. Does mean, though, that I can probably, in Qian Huo's group, get rid of maybe 1 or 2 Jade Warriors and replace them with the crossbow variant.
You will serve Cathay elsewhere.
It's concerning. But we do need the more dangerous missile troops. Roman cost exactly as much, and what would they be giving us more? They've got speed, they've got anti-infantry, and they have the ability to harass the back lines and basically shut down dark shards. Tough call. Let's grab some Chroman. Go ahead and grab 2 Chroman, and we'll do 1 Jade Warrior crossbow. It is going to put us over what we were before. But I do think it's going to be necessary, especially since we are about to kick off a war with Lokir as well. You have to completely secure Cathay at all costs. Okay, into Ming Fan's fight.
Not fame.
For honor, not fame. Indeed. Might be a good idea to make them come to us. However, 6 summons of clan rats, that is horrifying. We'll basically just keep the peasant horsemen in the back and have them keep charging in every time they show up. 2 units of peasant horsemen hitting the same group is pretty nasty. All right, let's dive on in and defend the Jade Mountain, or the Jade Wind Mountain, by attacking it. Alright, so the rats are going to spread out as wide as they can, which does make sense. So what we're going to do is try to force them into the gully either way. So let's grab the most elite for the front line, the most elite and the most healthy. Grab everyone else back. Oh, interesting. These guys deploy forward because of the... They have much higher melee stats? Oh, yeah, they definitely do. They can actually hold the line.
Peasant horseman.
Surprisingly dangerous group of archers there. There we go. Horsemen are ready to go. Keep them in the back. We'll have all of our archers ready to deliver death. Group down kind of as much as we can there, and we also want them to be a bit more compact too. Iron Hail guns, good idea to keep you back. How much do these Skaven slave slings outrange us? Not at all. Got more dangerous slings besides that. They've got a lot of slingers here. Okay, so we have to prioritize specific targets. We are going to be in trouble here. A lot of... Luckily, just Skaven slave spears. Have you on the other side so you can fight with warp fire throwers.
Warriors!
Defenders of Cathay!
Elite warriors of Cathay.
Jade warriors!
Create a concave place for the rats to run into. Overlap the line just a little bit.
The celestial faithful.
Okay, we just want to put them into this position. We'll fire over the top. Might be a better idea to get only 2 of them in the line. That's a tough call. Because we can just plug this up with maybe 2 units and just fire over the top, and then have 2 more units in reserve, ready to file in the gap, and then 1 more ready to do the same. And just a whole bunch of Roman-style phalanx reserves. That might work out pretty well. Alright, Ming Fan, you were on foot, right? Perfect. I want you leading that charge. So this is going to be our vanguard. That does leave us... Grab, actually, this guy and this one. We'll have them be the side group, in case they are needed. Set them up behind the line.
Stone and steel! Defenders of Cathay! Archers!
The celestial faithful!
Archers!
Celestial
Shenyan
faithful.
The celestial faithful!
Okay, and then cavalry to be a nuisance. The rest of our
Minds as one! Warriors!
warriors are going to be in their own kind of vanguard group.
Warriors!
Defenders of Cathay.
Stop any shenanigans.
Order and balance.
No shenanigans here. Let's have shotguns. I'd say up front as well. They should be able to fire over the top. Problem is, they are going to be a priority target for all the slings, so I think we might want to keep them in the back as a deterrent for anyone going around the sides, and then we can move them in once these other slings have already been given their targets, because otherwise I think the Iron Hail will just disappear under a hail of air, rocks? Disgusting sewer rocks. Formation a bit more aggressive looking. We do have to make sure we target the enemy archers first. We have to hope the Jade Warriors can hold. I do believe they can. It's just, can they outpace rats?
The Celestial Faithful.
All of the Celestial Faithful need to be in guard mode. We don't want you advancing at all. You just need to hold the line and pray to the Celestial Emperor. Let's get it going. Take the gap.
Within my power, die fighting for the dragons, for our families. That is to be embraced, not feared. For the celestial
Looks like they're going to go well around.
Cathay.
Very interesting strategy. Just go stand in the middle of the lake. Yeah, they're going well wide.
Minds as one. Wind and fire.
Trying to waste ammunition as well. Okay.
Never
We do need to react
conquered.
then.
Jade warriors.
Sent by dragons.
Jade Warriors
Guided
up.
by ancestors. Marching as one. Understood.
You'd have the shotguns just kind of being up on the hill, waiting for any nonsense. They spawned an enemy unit in our front lines, which is
In harmony.
a huge mistake. So they've just decided they're not going to fight over here at all. Okay. I didn't think that was allowed. We'll fight you over here.
Sent by dragons.
We can make a choke point either way, don't you worry. Alright, Ming-Fan, try to lure them back in by bopping some of their elite Night Runners. Start bringing some of these other warriors up and around to reinforce.
Ordered ranks.
Archers switch positions. There's no reason to stay where you're at.
Immediately.
Praise the dragons.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to be coming through there at all. You guys come on around.
With joy.
I'm not sure what the rats are doing. I guess they're going to go try to find a hill.
Shen Yang sends us. Horsemen.
Cavalry, get in there quick.
Attack in unison.
We're going to lose some lads. Turn around and help fight.
For Cathay.
Iron Hail guns. Let's go ahead and move out to the side here. They did a good job of disrupting for a moment. Let's pull the cavalry on away now.
Formation.
Ming-Fan, you just keep being a nuisance. What is anyone really going to do to you? You start bopping these warp fire throwers. Keep them out of the fight. First sets of clan rats are into battle.
Lords in harmony.
Very interesting. Start taking apart these Skaven slaves. We need to deal with the slings.
For Cathay.
Sun Yang sends us.
Order and balance.
You are all in pretty into position. We've got... They're going after our Iron Hail guns.
Anything for Cathay. For the moon dragon.
Just Skaven slaves. Pretty much everything can deal with Skaven slaves. Unfortunately for them.
Cavalry. They will perish.
Jade warriors.
Everyone get into position. They did send some of them more central, but we don't really need these archers even
Move as
to be
we.
here. Sitting none around the outside, but honestly, that's working out for us. You keep bopping those warp fire throwers. That's your target.
Peasant archers.
You archers keep dealing with these slings.
Order.
We obey. Sent by dragons.
Through shotguns. Go ahead and scoot yourselves up.
Warriors.
You got another summon of menace below.
March in order.
You really don't like these
Stone and steel.
these banditos here.
Archers.
Little do they know, though, the bandits are pretty good at defending themselves.
Archers. It is
Oh,
fate.
here we go. There's the Night Runners. They were hiding up front.
Wind and fire.
You guys don't even need to move. Just keep holding the line.
Celestial General.
The General is taking a lot of damage. Hopefully we can get some lads in to help out.
Stone and steel.
Peasant archers.
Defend yourselves, please.
Never conquered. For Cathay.
Start blasting into the Warlord. You guys keep ripping shots into those spears.
Dragon! Repositioning!
Keep the swordsman back.
Win!
Bring them to the center here. We don't really need them on the side, although we're going to need the cavalry here in a second. Move forward. Bandits and Silver Road, you just turn and start firing on this this Warlord here.
Grand General!
He is throwing down with so many rats. Really just wanting to keep bopping the Warpfire throwers, though. Yourself that resistance. Through, I don't know where you guys are going.
Bringing harmony, order, and balance.
By celestial
Rip
decree!
through these clan rats. Deal with the chieftain. He's the one that's keeping the
Restore order
general alive there.
Emperor's will!
for the Moon Dragon.
He's standing right up next to him. Let's go ahead and pull back a little bit. He likely told them to advance and break through these Skaven slaves here.
They will perish.
To be able to take them both out just by terrifying them, and then we can come on in and help out Ming Fan. Finally. Alright, cavalry. We haven't quite burned through all 6 of their uses of the Menace Blow.
Guided by ancestor. The Emperor expects.
Alright, it's time to start advancing. Skaven slave spears go directly into them then.
None dare stand in my way. Martial might! My strength
Block chance.
Peasant archers.
Chieftain is getting quickly dealt with. You just stay here and stop the rats from flanking. Give them some extra reload speed.
They will perish! Warriors!
Ignore this chieftain.
Defenders of Cathay.
Have these cavalrymen press through the line in to try to stop these Night Runner slings. These doesn't archers go after these Skaven slave slings up front.
Jade warriors. Attack in unison.
Jade warriors push through the line. Looks like our peasant horsemen got absolutely shredded.
staying low!
And they turned all of their units around to go after them.
Cut them down!
Targeting standards to the eye is really strange. You stay here and keep bashing some Skaven slaves.
The celestial faithful.
Doing a really good job at dodging.
Fight as one. Archers.
Keep that damage on.
For Cathay.
You turn around and deal with this lord here.
Seeking
Through into the
Cathay's
enemy. You stay here.
In ordered ranks. Minds as one.
harmonious wrath!
As long as you guys can blast some shots into this fool here, and these guys could actually hold their own just fine. Make it into melee range, it's gonna be a bad day.
Peasant horsemen.
So the peasant horsemen got bogged down, pull them on back.
Repositioning!
Keep blasting the Night Runners then.
For the Emperor.
Jade! Warriors!
Oh, they're trying to drag the Night Runners through the line so our peasant archers stop firing. An interesting
Move.
strategy. Just surround and destroy that group then.
Thoughts in harmony. Warriors. Peasant archers.
Is to the everlast man here. Looks like the chieftain is gonna come back. He's routing, but he's not
Wind and
permanently gone
fire.
yet.
Bring in harmony. Defenders of Cathay.
I don't think the rats are shattered, at least most of them. Their lord's still fighting for now.
Celestial General!
Here, try to make it back in towards your line. Get the resistance in where we really need it.
Horseman!
Horsemen go after these Night Runners.
Harmonious rock.
Celestial General!
Want to get the physical resistance down. Everyone we can here.
Balance!
Got a lot of lads that aren't actually fighting.
Restore order!
And there's the win.
Whatever is required.
Fighting this many Skaven is always incredibly long-winded, but we dragged them on down. And reclaimed the Jade Wind Mountain. Excuse me. Alright, it labels the victory a Pyrrhic one, but at least none of our front line gets slain there. And in fact, most of our troops made it through. 300 kills going to the horsemen that almost or defeated themselves. Excellent work. We are cleaning these mountains up one settlement at a time.
Bring this settlement into Cathay.
Bring it into Cathay and purge out all the warpstone.
Celestial
Place it with
General.
lovely Jade. So now that we've got the Jade Wind Mountain, it's got the Wares Market, which is actually going to be Yang focused. We are going to switch this over to the Spice Market. And here in the Forest of the Moon, I'm actually going to grab in the Control Building. Or just the Labor Conscription Bureau. For the meantime, we'll just try to make as much gold as possible.
Humility in all things.
But as we're balanced, we at least are able to move through the provinces a bit faster. Alright, we get to grab Ming Fan, the Bulwark of WEI-JIN. So he's got a 360 missile block now, extra missile block chance, and then armor plus 30. So I'm hoping this will allow him to stand up front and block missiles that would normally be going at someone else, as long as they enter whatever this 360 degree thing is, unless this is only for him. Either way, Bulwark of WEI-JIN for Ming Fan, all the way over to the Titanic Impact, and I shall be all these things and more. Attacks cause the Rattle effect, reducing combat ability, and the Celestial Sweep. I am thrilled.
Few would turn down such weaponry.
I mean, I would agree. And they would be fools to do so. Alright, well, Yuan Bo is recruiting in some new elite troops to go with his expendable horsemen. Hopefully we can avoid war with Lokir until our own terms, because whoever usually starts the war, it's a nice head start on the others.
Armor is for maidens.
Armor is for maidens.
Sig.
Any kind of deals we get to,
Miao-Ying.
we could force
Our ancient
a
empire has not
access
survived
with
until now.
Miao Ying and give her some gold.
Friends, for the Emperor's honor.
I'm happy to do so.
Heed me.
I'm not going to give
Fire
Stalton
and
any gold,
metal.
though.
No greater marks. Xiao Ming.
Yeah, let's go ahead and save the gold we've got left. We are going to, in fact, come on over, and once Gotrek does claim Jingpo here, we're probably just going to disband all of his archers and send him over by himself to start doing as much damage as he can to the Dark Elves. That is the plan. Back with Yuan Bo. Since there's no reason to pay for the upkeep for the war drum just yet, let's start replacing our peasant archers with crossbows. It's going to take 2 turns, but we actually will not be leaving this province either way, so I'm going to first grab some Onyx Crowmen, so we've got at least 2 of them. Like 4 total, though, so you know what, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of Onyx Crowmen and wait the turns. Four flyers, we're going to go ahead and take out combine up some of these peasant archers
Warriors
while
for
we
the
can.
Empire.
Beautiful, and I'll kick these guys
The
out.
balance between resources is hard to strike.
Got 4 Jade Warriors, 2 Anti-Large, which we'll replace with the Halberdier Jade Warriors. And then these guys, all these peasant archers can be replaced with crossbows, and then I'm happy to get out and moving. We will grab in the War Drum as well. It'd be great to grab a Jet Lion to go with our Jade one. I think for now we just kind of roll with it as is.
All 8 winds bend to my
Don't
will.
plan on making any kind of crazy Doomstack style armies, but we will do several themed ones. So if we want to have one that is kind of all about the Jade and Jet Lions, where there may be 2 to 4 of each, I'm happy to try that. 19 of them is a bit ridiculous, but if you've seen the Legend Total War video recently, it does definitely work. So if you're all about Jade or Jet Kitty Cats, you can make them turn into a death ball of epic proportions. Alright, we'll skip on through. Outpost available with the Eastern River Lords. This would allow us to recruit in some extra crowmen. Let's place it at Fuchao and try to defend until we do confederate with them. I'm going to try to grab either Zhao or Miao-Ying first, and then we'll start grabbing some of the more minor factions. Kind of ending with the Burning Wind Nomads since they have so much land. Let's construct this outpost. We've got the gold. Post in Fuchao. Head back over to the swamps. You will in turn. We've got a hero not move. Oh yes, we did have an event. This completely slipped my mind. We had an event that happened right as we did. It did the single turns. We would build in the siege towers. So the celestial wind, the sound of breaking glass dispels the quiet harmony of the grand observatory. A peasant lies on the floor, dazed and bruised. The astromancers are horrified by this intrusion, but soften as the man reveals he was helplessly carried here by a lightning-flecked wind. Clearly, Azir has chosen him. So now we have ourselves a astromancer, for free. Liu. Welcome, good sir.
Celestial wind.
It'd be cool if he got one that was chosen by Azir, since this was a special event, but it is not going to be the case. Does he get to be recruited in at crazy high tier? No. He's basically a peasant that got thrown through the window. Fair enough. Well, let's send him out and start helping out the land. We will bring the Astromancer up, I think, to add into Bing Fawn's army.
Consulting ancient maps.
Consulting the ancient maps. He is a Heavens Mage, so we've got Harmonic Convergence, Rolling Skies, Wind Blast, all of the goodies are down to Chain Lightning in the Comet. Wu-Jing War Compass. It is a bit sad that both the Magistrates or the Caravan Lords are not able to actually ride the new Jianghu War Drum, because it feels like they definitely should.
I hope
Such is the way.
To see the world as other than the platinum.
Let us talk frankly. Away from war.
Go play some chess. War has come. Time to answer Ulrich's summons. Oh, he's fighting against Bretonnia, has he? Oh man, he is really fighting against Bretonnia. Well, no, you enjoy that war. I know we have a defensive alliance, but if this was a fight you were already in before we got involved. So, no thanks. Holy Romans and the French duke it out. Adarin wiped out Clan Mulder? I've never seen this happen before. Clan Mulder lasts... They are a cockroach that lasts almost to the end of every campaign I've ever been part of. Sterling has also been destroyed, which we probably had a part in. Swaddle has himself another Slann for us to slay. Mission issued. Wind and Field. Defeat an army belonging to any of the following enemies of the Eastern River Lords, the Defenders of the Great Plan, or the Spirits of the Jungle. We'll get there, don't you worry. Caravan leader, led by Ji, has sold its wares in Karazakrak for 3,900, and it will now be returning its journey to our capital. Demand for trade goods in Karazakrak is now reduced, but will increase steadily over time. Now he has gained the Angkor Chain. Talisman worn upon a thick chain that imbues its wearer with the courage of every High King of Everpeak. 6 additional defense, 12% resistance, and the immunity to psychology. This will be great on our already incredibly defensive Ming Fan.
Instrument of the Divine.
He's got a Talisman of Protection right now. We'll replace that with the Angkor Chain, which in case we run up against any magical attacks will be a little bit less useful, but until then, it would be fantastic. So go ahead and give him the Sword of Striking. Sweet business. And while the caravans are away, you're not able to actually select them, which is a bit unfortunate because this little chevron's going to bother me. Qianhuo.
General of the Celestial Host.
Inspiring Recruitment. I think since you are in defense mode, we're going to want to make sure your crossbowmen are nice and deadly.
With that, I would lead more effectively.
I do agree. And then we're going to start replacing all of your peasant archers. You just ran right on through our lands, did you?
Raid and enslave. Tell me, why should I not include you in the latter?
Fair enough. He's fighting against Miao Ying. I didn't want to declare war on you yet, but this might be the opportunity we were waiting for. They are in March stance, so even though this is not good, Miao Ying, you are slacking in your duties. Definitely, I'm not going to be taking over her lands. We'll take over Xiaoming. We'll just have the happy, quiet... Miao is down here in the bottom. Well, that's why her army's not doing so well. I think she's probably trying to come on around to claim Jingpo. Don't you worry, we'll do it for you. The shenanigans. Well, instead, we'll go into ambush. Tell everyone to hush their mouths, and we'll just wait. Claim Jingpo the old-fashioned way.
Something disrupts our harmony.
Something wicked. This way
For
comes.
the Imperial family.
Eshin is pushed back to just Jingpo and Kun Lan. Let's make sure all of the aggression is towards Kunlan.
Is this a test?
No, not a test. We're trying to figure out if you can...
I will make a soldier out of every raw recruit.
Let's go ahead and grab some crowmen here in the forest, and I think we should. Let's combine up some of our normal Jade warriors. So we'll take these guys, put them together.
General!
It is going to take the more elite. That's
Celestial
okay. We'll
General.
spread around the veteran troops.
Serve from the front.
Same thing here.
Leader of men.
These guys are going to go away. We appreciate your service, boys.
Have we displeased the Emperor?
Oh no, not in any way. We just need crowmen. Angry, violent crowmen. You boys don't have enough murder in you. Alright, Pang. We're gonna have you just kind of sit right outside of Chi Mai, and we're gonna be playing the We're Not Touching You for until we're ready to declare war on Lokir. And then it's going to be a kneecapping. And yeah, Nakai's making his steady progress. If we can finish off Lokir quickly, that way we don't have to deal with any kind of Dark Elf nonsense in the background, it would make the fight with Nakai much easier. And we can stop worrying about all the Order factions that are down here causing us issues. We could start dealing with chaos.
Dragon-blooded Shogunga.
I want to declare war on these Druki here. Who are you guys fighting?
Speak quickly.
Wardalow.
You may escape with your life.
Very intriguing. Let's recruit up for a turn, and then we are going to attack.
Celestial ancestors.
Fortunately, Menbo, you really only have the opportunity to use
I permit you to rest.
peasants, but I think we'll make do. In fact, we'll make do with some Hunt Marshal's troops. Ooh, just kidding. All you have is state troops. That sounds awful. Unless it's crossbows, I'm not here for it.
Service is every Cathayan's duty.
So in that case, it's just more sharp sticks to throw at the enemy.
Where is the promised unity?
Where is the promised unity? Also go ahead and grab the Herb Gatherer's Camp. There are always those without any formal medical training who know the older ways in which herbs will cure ills, which murder. Yuan Bo's doing his thing. Bring on up. Perfect. I am going to go ahead and slot in the Jade War Drum. That way we can know what the drain our income is going to be. Plus, I just want this in our army.
You
Look at it.
are the glory of the dragons.
Heed the glory of the dragons. It's very slow. Actually, it's faster than the rest of the army. I'm using. It kind of works better with peasants, almost. Oh, I can't wait. It's not a fighting unit, but it looks awesome. One of the only complaints I have with it is it doesn't really look like they're trying to play the drum at all. Alright, Marathi, I need you to relax. Can we get a non-aggression with you?
Down for wasting my time. Speak.
Okay. So the plan is we're going to go ahead and sign a peace treaty. Now with Hexawaddle. I'm going to let them get taken out by either Marathi or the New World colonies, and then I'm going to go ahead and declare war on the New World colonies, depending on where Marathi's at. Looks like she is coming on and down after us, though. She's building up magic, and then she's likely attack the Fallen Gates. Not doing this on accident. We accept, but I do not trust you. Fair enough. We did knock you right off your mobility scooter for no reason.
The Empire. All right.
It was so rude of us. Take a trade agreement
Approach
for
us,
some
friend.
gold with Averland.
On it.
To get eyes on.
What?
Storm
Such a
Dragon.
cool.
The city
I'm glad that
of
they were able
smoke
to steal
is
it from the
poised
High
to
Elves. I
lend
know it's the
you
High
its
Elf
might.
mechanic, and it's just being reused, but I quite like it in Yuan Bo's case.
Acceptable.
Acceptable, barely.
Sigma's will.
The dragon.
See, Meow,
So,
I'm not trying to steal
yes,
gold from you anymore.
the
I want you to
Empire.
survive against
By Sigma's will, come in
Village.
peace. Sigma's
Sigmar I
will.
care less about. But our spies need to range very far.
Yes.
Natural authority.
Sweet business, then. Let's go into our Lord section, see who it says we have not moved, which is, Jiana Huo. Because I am likely going to be attacking a Narcissus here. This is probably a good opportunity to do so. Or we completely ignore him, pull a gambit of our own, and see who's defending Hai Chi.
Scream for mercy. Advance without heroics.
I want to use all of it.
Soldiers of the dragon, March.
This makes it dangerous for WEI-JIN, but WEI-JIN is honestly so well protected that unless they bring another army over here out of nowhere, this is fine. Sky Lantern, smattering of both elite and not elite troops. The two Celestial Dragon Guard, there's nothing the Druki have in this army that can handle it.
Noble of Nagaroth.
Noble of Nagaroth. If such a thing can even be said to exist. We are going to grab Yin alignment here. Also because this gives you the better garrison, I believe. More Jade Warriors and Crossbowmen. More of the crossbows than the other area, though. Over at Mingzhu, we're going to go for 2 Yin, 1 Yang. We're going to go for another Yin building. We really want growth to be maxed out here at WEI-JIN. We can switch it back to balanced. Alright, quick jump cut. We got ambushed by the followers of Nurgle and a fortunate sneeze that about exploded my eardrums. Oof. Alright, we're back. So the plan with Ganhuo, we're going to come on over and we are going to attack Haichi. He doesn't have any magic, so there's no reason to actually start building any up. And I am going to give him about 3 recruitment slots in the Imperial Road. We'll go for 2 more Onyx Crowmen. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete, or at least take out one of these archers, and upgrade them into a unit of warriors with crossbows. That way they can actually at least attempt to compete with the Druki Dark Shards. They've got a lot more range, and that's kind of where their advantage lies. We are poised to attack on many different fronts all at once here.
First among warriors.
Mingfan, instead of recruiting here,
Occupy
like
any
to threaten Kunlan. So let's come up to this region here. I was going to go into a
traverse the high ground.
camp stance, but there's no real reason to. Go to the edge of our territory,
Ancestors,
and we will
us.
simply grab ourselves some Crowmen. Excellent. Since those units of horsemen are just being used as distractions, I'm not going to worry about actually combining them up.
I know of a way.
Know of a way. I do as well. You come on up to join Mingfan, though.
The great compass shows the way.
Good to hear. Gonna wiggle his way on over. We're gonna come on back over to Yuan Bo. And then once again here, we should go ahead and end the turn. But after we build in the gold mine first or after? I think we need growth. So Tea Parlor and Tea Parlor. Even if we'd like to go ahead and start getting some of these spices, we really need the growth.
Of the celestial host.
Sorry, friend, you were almost up to rank 8. Returning to the capital in 1 turn, so as soon as he arrives, we can sit him on out. He's rank 3. Perfect. Gotta make sure we actually save some gold. Yes, I know we've got a caravan dispatch available. We shall not be doing it, though.
Serve from the front.
This one is rank 3. Torture and debauchery.
So, what brings you to my court? I am but a functionary.
I'm thinking she would like us to join her war with Lokir. I would like to have it as a surprise for Lokir, so I'm going to go ahead and decline. I aid our glorious cause. Don't you worry, we'll join in very soon.
Excuse me. I have calligraphy to practice.
Excuse me, says Devilich. You don't have to be polite with him. He is bringing the USAC, and they are going to try to disrupt our plans. Interesting. He's just going to sit here, though. All right, bring it on. I'm going to not call our allies to help, so that way they can make that decision on their own. Now we know who our true allies are. Change the compass direction 4 times. Okay, doing so would give us 1,500 treasury. Do that. The Shadowgore Warhorde is defeated. They are constructing for us as well. Beautiful. Ingwo Bai is ready for duty again. Shou Duan. I don't know who you is, but welcome on back. Long way round. While playing as Cathayan faction, though, this is kind of another tutorial. Yep, so you can send out caravans, complete 5 of them to gain some treasury and a Razor Standard. I'm happy to do so. We are going to now change it from the Celestial Lake, though, which is going to drop our income by probably a pretty considerable margin. I am going to switch it on over to the Warp Stone and Desert. We are about to send a ton of gold on out. Or better yet, as I say this, let's go ahead and activate the Dragon Emperor's Wrath, try to give WEI-JIN some support, and this will allow us in our own provinces to drop down the Celestial Intervention, which, just look at that damage. 100% armor piercing on the explosive, 50% on the range, that is a ton of damage. Yeah, let's go ahead and activate the Dragon Emperor's Wrath, mostly just to cause Tzeentch up there some problems. Dastardly. It's one I normally don't use at all, but I've seen just how much attrition that can apply when it's not your squad. Yishi should have no trouble dealing with them. We're just going after Pome.
Favored of the Witch King.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is be... there's Look here.
Fly the cruel seas.
The fact that Lokir is gone in this direction changes my mind a bit.
We make poor time on loose sand.
We can attack him using the Defenders of the City of the Shogun as support.
Aboard the Tower of
He's probably just with a tier 1 army for now. He's got whatever his starting dangerous is, but he's got both of his abilities. That's not great. Fighting Lokir is going to be a mess, but he is still on foot, so it's going to be not as bad as when he has his Sea Dragon. Okay. Whatever to Yuan Bo.
An executioner.
Marathi is just kind of dirtling around. I feel like she's thinking about coming on over to face us. That is absolutely for sure. Exowaddle's still losing ground. They haven't been completely wiped out yet, though.
Let us chew the fat.
In peace and let us shoot. That sounds horrifying.
So,
all right, yeah, no too...
Sneak.
Nothing too dastardly for us to get to. He owns Skeggy, Mazda Mundi, so he actually will probably push back Fort Reaver Fools here, which is actually just fine. We will upgrade Exowaddle, and then I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here before we keep going. I have been Space Wizard Total War. Remember to leave a like for the light god and a stuff this up, though. And I'm going to see you all in the next one.